The opening goes. Spins. Vestige of Ophiuchus. Welcome to Nat19.
It's getting me so hard today.
Oh.
I did it. I broke them. Yes.
The yeahs have been getting me so hard today.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to Nat19. Vestige of this one of Ophiuchus, which by the way we have determined as of the chat earlier, we determined that space is infringing on our copyright, and headed by Bread, we will be suing space.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be like, we recently deduced that the Romans were dicks.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
Space is infringing on our copyright. They have named one of their constellations after our show, and we do not particularly care for that. So, we are taking space to court. Brad will be our lawyer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Brad is drinking coffee.
Oh yeah.
What a cartoonish! Oh yeah!
Oh goodness!
Just imagine SpongeBob animation Bread taking out just a suitcase from under table. Oh yeah! Like weirdly prepared. Speaking of, this is fitting. Bread, why don't you give us the recap?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That's the thing today, everybody at home. We're yelling yeah today. That's what we'll be doing.
Um.
Alright, Brett, you can have two more. Is that okay?
Yes.
Ah, darn. Alright, continue.
Hey, yeah. Shit.
That just happened.
Brett's like a master of comedy, and y'all have just been sleeping on this shit forever.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
And there they
That's the
go!
last one.
And there they
We
go!
got no left. It was worth it.
As you guys are preparing to leave and go upstairs, that is where we're going to jump back in. So, just to be clear, you guys taking on your usual walk order, marching order, which is Tag Wrench, Nemric Flux, Miriam Avi, Fenris Lexi.
I would like to
Yeah.
narrow my eyes at Flux. I'd like to narrow my eyes at Flux and move him to where I am, so that I am behind Taguchi.
You already are.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Every two I described is that you're in a 2x4 order. As you approach the upper level, you start to see the sunlight, or what appears to be sunlight, coming in through the door to the ground level. You become immediately aware that despite the amount of time you've taken to rest, what you have presumed to be Jakku Ilnorkar's ship is clearly still in the air, or, if you're wrong, whatever is creating sunlight and making it seem like it's daytime is clearly still up above you.
I'd
But
like to kind of look back at the King of Lions. Is there anything in particular about fighting Jakku that you might be able to share with us? Anything you noticed about them that we might want to look out for?
By the time they engaged me, I was already relatively hurt from being bombarded by the flying ship that they have. They're strong, they're very big, very on fire. Their weapon is as if it was fire condensed. So I would propose that you probably not rely on using flames against them.
That would be a problem.
That was a question, actually.
They seem to be magically inclined, but as I don't know the magic of your world all that well, I'm afraid I can't offer much in the way of guidance. Your magic works much more frivolously than the magic where I come from.
Alright. I'm just trying to think strategy, so that actually helps quite a bit.
The problem is, not all of us can get up to them. Some of you can fly, but, well, two of you can fly. But if Jakku decides to stay up there like they did when we fought last time, then they'll only come down once I think they're certain they've made their point.
We don't have any spells that could help with that?
I can make someone fly. Only one, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna need someone to carry me.
I probably could, but I'm more mean, do we have anything that might be able to ground them? I doubt it, right?
I know of such magics, but I don't have it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I do not either.
Plus, I think it would work on a thing, more like a creature, but not a ship.
No, I'm just trying to think strategy, what might be the best approach here.
Do we know how big the ship is? Because, I mean, like, we could just try and crash it. Like, if we just break it.
Quite large, like a galleon. Maybe not quite as large. A couple 100 feet long. Though it was hard to make out much about it because a great source of light was coming from it and its hull lit up. So it was hard to tell much about it beyond that it seemed to just be a beacon of light in the sky.
And they were just standing on it? Or are they latched in some way?
Well, they were a couple of 100 feet in the air whenever they were bombarding us. It's very difficult to tell details like that, especially when you feel like you're staring right at a sun. I apologize. I wish I could tell you more.
It's all good.
No, that helps quite a bit, actually. Okay, so...
I might have something we could try. It's a little foolish, but... Fenris will pull out a bag of what looks like dust. If... Aviana, I know you can fly, and you probably can get close enough. If you were to blow this in their face, this could incapacitate them for a time. We might be able to remove them. It's a dust that is... It triggers someone's allergies a particular amount, and it leaves them coughing and sneezing. It's not
Do they need to breathe?
anything. That's a good question. I mean, we might as well try. If they can't, then it's lost, but...
Well, how long does it last? Because then we'd still have the problem of getting us up there to get them while they're all sneezing and coughing and stuff. It's a good plan, but
it really depends on the person's ability to overcome these sort of things. So I have to make a saving throw.
Okay.
Nice.
I may have something of a suggestion, but it's far from perfect. I have a device that can make someone quite a bit smaller than they usually are, and I could concentrate on 2 people at once while using it. It would make them easier to carry, at least.
Maybe then we could get on the ship, and then... But that's quite the plummet. I don't know if anyone has any items of fairy fall. Or not fairy fall, of feather fall.
I do.
Fairy fall. I can cast it, but I'd have to be the one falling, or with whoever's falling. Or at least close enough to him.
I could carry at least one person. I've done it with Lexi when she becomes a fox, so I could, in theory, carry you, Wrench.
Great. Because all I've got is a hook shot. But even then, I don't think it would reach that far.
Then Nemric could possibly take Lexi.
Or he can take Wrench.
I know. Either way.
What?
What, you don't like Wrench?
No.
Why did you just throw me? All right.
Oh,
That's
no.
cool.
It's okay, Wrench, I like you.
I
Yeah,
never said anything to that effect, but alright.
No, I get it. It's
No,
fine.
no.
It,
I just don't trust Nemric with Lexi, that's all I'm saying.
I figured that's what it was.
You know, I'm not that big. Like, you know what we could do? You carry Lexi and Lexi carries me. It'll be fine.
I am only so strong.
Yeah, I think Aviana's capacity taps out at one person, Wrench. I'm sorry, you're going to have to find another ride.
And in the scenario where I'm carrying Wrench, do I look like this? Or am I a fox? Because I don't know if I could hold Wrench with my little foxy paws.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Look, guys, I'm not that big. I'm pretty small.
We don't need to.
No,
do
that's
I
not.
need? Do I
I
need
would
to
be happy to
assign
carry you,
carpooling
Master
groups?
Wrench.
What's a car, Fenris?
Shh, shh.
Wagon pool.
We got a wagon pool.
Do I need to?
You know what? I'll just hop
Figure
on
out-
Flux.
Okay, wait, who can all fly?
Raise his
Myself,
hand.
Nemric, and Flux. Yes.
Okay.
I realize we're getting a little off track here.
I just, I feel like perhaps... have I been accounted for?
That's what we're
I
figuring
was
out.
trying to get to,
I was
is...
thinking Miriam could make you fly.
Yep.
By the way, I can also make people fly.
That's not a joke. That's a thing you can really
Oh.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could do that.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
It's very free.
How
Today.
many can you? How
I
many
want
can you make
wings.
fly, Miriam?
Just one.
Ah, I can make up to 3 of you.
Oh.
Oh,
If that changes any of your
Wow.
plans.
Gosh,
Eliana.
Nemric, you could have mentioned that.
If that changes any of your plans.
This
That's
only
very
hurts my
useful.
feelings even more.
Well, that does change our plans quite a bit, Nemric.
Okay.
we might not have to shrink anyone.
Well, we have...
Well,
Wrench is just with his arms crossed, just like standing there. It's like, this fucking bullshit. Fucking...
Did you want me to carry you that badly, Wrench?
No, I don't give a It's not about... Never mind, just don't worry about it.
He's so
Okay,
cute
man, I
when
spent a
he's
while trying to get
angry.
them to pick me up, too.
I've done it.
May I
Yeah.
ask, where are you guys having this conversation?
Be on
As
the
we're-
staircase.
Yeah.
Like when we're...
Are you
heading
still, like, going up
Loitering
currently?
at, like, the gate. Yeah.
Okay. just making
Loitering.
sure.
Well, there's no way we couldn't have, like, that staircase is long. It's not that long.
yeah, you're right.
It's a good. It's a wide, like a spiral staircase that goes a good, heck, in 30 feet, like down. So there's lots of room for you guys to hang out and talk.
Just mean we're definitely at the top talking about it and not walking up, because we've been at the top for a while at this point.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see. I see.
There's no way we wouldn't have, because
Oh,
if
no.
we're walking and talking,
That's good to
we would
know.
arrive.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh, heck.
Just say roll for initiative, bro.
1 second, please.
Oh,
Need to
no.
roll a check. Don't worry about it.
Not a thing to do.
Do.
But talk.
But talk.
Ah,
Do. We're all
As you,
waiting.
oh man,
Roll
I hate
in
to derail your
pain.
plans. I hate to derail your
No.
plans at all. But as you guys are at the top, those that are in front, which would be Tag and Wrench, based on your walk order. As you guys are talking, you hear just coming from outside, "Hey, you could at least do the decency and try to speak more quietly."
I respond with, "Go fuck yourself!"
Oh, here we go.
Oh, dear.
I turn towards the boys.
You turn towards it. You see, standing in the main lobby of the downstairs area, the several Zugaiken members that had tried to investigate whenever you guys were in Leoman's tiny hut. So you finally decided to come up and show yourselves. You just about done parading yourselves down there? Looting all of Ravisimon's precious things?
Look, man, I'm going through a time.
Not quite.
Can you move, please?
Captain, I knew you'd come back for me.
Oh, don't even get me started. This being the larger half-orc that you had recognized before as being Carvus. Standing about halfway down, the others all hands on their weapons. You see the other Zugaiken members put their hands to their weapons and they begin to bring them out, and he puts his hand back up towards them. No, we have orders. We have no intention of engaging you directly, so don't worry about us. However, and you see him pull the great bow off of his back. One message I was told to deliver as soon as I saw you. He takes out one of the arrows that has the flaming talismans on it, and he pulls it and aims it towards you. I feel like I should give you some kind of time to pull some sort of theatrics. Unfortunately, I'm not like that bitch you killed downstairs. And he aims it up and fires it straight into the air.
Uh-oh, shit.
Oh,
As it fires up, goes out of the skylight in the central area, you see it explode as a fireball goes off in the sky, about 100 feet up. You just see him snickering, lowers the grape bow. I have absolutely no idea why Jakku told me to do that, but you're about to get yours!
Oh, I'm sorry, man. You're fucked.
What do you mean?
I just saw the future a little bit ago. This is about to be a crater.
Oh.
I don't what do you... You see,
So we should go.
Oh, yes.
You hear from the sky this revving sound. And you just see the half-orc turn and looks up at the sky, and then back at you with the most puppy dog face of, oh no.
You ever think you're on the wrong side?
As you guys are standing, there is a sudden eruption as you start to hear this massive unleashing of what sounds like energy, these echoing blasts from up in the sky. As they do, you hear explosions from outside the walls of the Bastille, and then you see the walls get, some of the walls outside get blasted as large bits of stone start flying off, as if fireballs were going off on the Bastille. As they seem to begin aiming more closely, the entire upper floor above you gets blasted and starts to collapse down in on you. So, as gouts of flame, fireballs go off around you guys, and as things look like they begin to collapse, what do you guys... this will be skill checks you'll need to use. What would you guys like to collectively do to try to avoid being bombarded by blasts of flame?
While we're evading all that, I'm just gonna yell at the orc again. I told you to go fuck yourself!
I'm sorry, I had no idea they were... As it explodes, you see the area where they are detonates. You see flies back the other Zugaiken with him. As everything's being bombed, the Zugaiken that are with them get blasted away. You see Carvis hit the wall. He's like, oh, I'm fine. And he looks down, and in his quiver, the remaining 2 arrows that have flame talismans have been sparked by the flame, and he just looks at them with this defeated expression. Just, oh no. As they go off, and he detonates from his own quiver. As I said before, though, you guys are being blasted by a hail of fireballs. What would you guys like to do?
Can I aid others by throwing a fly out immediately as soon as I start seeing all that happening?
This would happen relatively immediately.
Okay, just making sure. Because I was gonna throw it on Lexi and Fenris and Tag, just be like, just have them fly.
If you want to do that, and we could add that to the... Go ahead and do it, and choose who you want to give it to and apply it to them, and we'll say that whatever they choose to do, they can include that in the context of what they're doing.
I will grab at Tag's back. Upon doing so, I only have to touch Tag. The other two I don't have to touch, I don't think.
Yeah, sure.
With Fly, is it a touch-based spell?
It is touch, but it says I can target another additional creature. I don't have 3 hands, so I don't see how
that
I
means
can
they have to be within touch range of you. So,
okay.
So if
who's
we're
around me?
we're looking at march order, just if we're being specific, Tag, Wrench, Flux, Avi, and Miriam are all around you.
I will touch Miriam, Wrench, and Tag then, because they're the only 3 that can't fly they're within this range.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, we're on our own, Lexi.
Here we go.
Okay.
Just to kind of help them.
Now, I will say, if you're doing
this,
this is part of your action to defend against this, so this is, for the first part of the skill check, you're committing to kind of this being your defense?
Yep.
Avi, what would you like to do?
Oh boy. I'm going to... It's gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna try to deflect any debris with my fan.
With your fan?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna delete these Zugaiken. They're gone.
They have been thoroughly deleted.
Hell yeah.
They are ash.
Okay, Avi. So what skill are you choosing to try to use to do... well, if you're using that, I'd say... that would probably end up being Arcana.
Okay.
You're using a magic item to do so. Please try to roll me an Arcana check to see if you can fight back against this.
Not bad.
Alright, 16. Good to know. As you do so, you bring out your fan instinctively and try to fight back against it. As you do, you sweep it across in front of you, and a gust of wind blasts forth. Please take off a use of your fan. As you do so, unfortunately, the blasts of flame are not deterred by it. You will be included in the dex save.
Okay.
Alright. Lexi, what would you like to do?
Okay. We're either gonna make this athletics or acrobatics, and I want you to make it acrobatics. So I'm gonna try to gracefully cartwheel out of the way.
Woo!
I'm gonna do a dex save so that I can avoid doing a dex save. If you want to roll acrobatics. So explain to me when you're dodging, because you are not at the front.
Yeah.
Where are you dodging to?
Because we're stuck in the stairway, right? Or
Foxy under us.
Oh, that's right. But then I'd have to just my action. Okay, because this isn't like an action. This is just a skill thing. I can't choose to turn into a fox, so I can't foxy under you guys. I don't think. I'm at the back, right?
Dash through, or you could run back down, but that has its own risks.
It's true.
It's not like, where are you gonna go down there?
Yeah, dashing through might be a better way to go.
Okay, so you're trying to go forward?
I'm gonna go
I'd
forward.
say since you're trying to acrobatics through people, please roll acrobatics with disadvantage.
Oh, fuck! Okay. Oh my god!
You succeed.
Damn.
Lexi, you will be excluded from it as you rush forward. You see the blasts happening and you dive through the others as you do. You manage to avoid and start skirmishing along the area, jumping around, seeing where the fire blasts are going to hit, avoiding those areas, avoiding pieces of rubble as they come down around you. Nemric, we've already said you've taken the, you've decided to use your action, in this case, to cast Fly on people.
Ah, you fools!
Wrench, we're at you.
Oh, shit.
What would you like to do? Be creative. Anything that you say, if you can think of a method of doing stuff, I will try to tell you how to make it work.
So
you
minions are
can
just
fly.
coming down at me?
The blasts of flame, imagine a bombardment, effectively, of missile-like blasts of flame are striking the area. What are you trying to do to find cover / avoid them?
And you can fly.
You can fly. You can factor that into whatever you do. You can fly quite fast.
Then I would use acrobatics. Like, just to, like, jump out of the way, fly, and just kind of maneuver around the bombardment.
Okay. Go ahead. That makes sense to me. Go ahead and roll me acrobatics.
Take this! I pressed the wrong button. Take this!
Shit!
1320?
Nice.
Love all the ellipses after yours. As you go to try to avoid it, you look forward, you squeeze your way past the... No, you're in front, right? You're with Tag. So you go forward, leap out of the way, you kind of soar by one of the blasts of flame. What direction are you heading in as you fly?
Upward.
Upward. Okay, so like up through the skylight.
Just up.
Okay, good to know. Alright, then Wrench, you will not be included in that final second save. King of Lions is going to, since they were not granted the ability to fly, they are going to attempt to... They're going to try to use athletics to just push forward. They're going to try to, since the center of the structure is being bombarded currently, they're going to try to push past and rush as quickly as they can to the other side near the gate. They're going to do athletics. They almost nat 20. They
Damn.
They good.
I think Flux is going to try and use his boots to fly forward and use like thunder wave and like sound-based spells to kind of like disintegrate debris as it comes in, and use his shield to deflect anything that he can't get with that.
So that's several different things. What is the primary thing among those that you're relying on?
Primarily using his gun to blast apart like debris.
Okay. In that case, roll me, why don't we say roll me an Arcana check?
Bleh.
Alright. As you rush forward, you manage to do so. You create an arcane shield. You take out your gun. You start blasting things. You manage to... Oh, you're flying. So where are you flying to?
I guess I'm trying to stay with the people who already flew forward, like with Wrench. Like
So
stay with the group.
Okay. So you're following Wrench. Miriam!
I was going to do something, but then something else happened. I thought this would be much more interesting. I'm going to fly forward. I'm going to grab the King of Lions. I want to cast Dimension Door and take us both 500 feet up.
Okay.
What skill is that?
If you're flying forward and trying to avoid it, I'd say your main thing here, because the dimension door is you moving. I would like you to please roll me. We will say acrobatics for the purposes of dodging, since you're trying to do that to fly.
This.
Hell yeah.
Miriam!
Oh, Miriam, no! So we'll hold on to that dimension door. As you rush forward, you try to catch up to the King of Lions. Unfortunately, blasts of flame strike around you, cause you to divert your course somewhat. Although, roll it again. Roll with advantage. You're not really that scared of fire. Fire is not a big deal for you, so there's no reason, technically, for you to...
That would make me hesitate. Natural one!
Yeah, apart from you just
gotta
reacting to
smelt
the
those
blasts, which, yeah, unfortunately the 6 is what we'll go with. So we'll revisit the dimension door in a second, if that's cool.
Roger, Dodger.
Fenris.
Alright. So, I'm going to try to have a more pragmatic approach to this and try to, like, listen and hear how the rocks are falling and, you know, take the path that has the less amount of obstacles.
The fire is your current main issue, is fireballs bombarding the area. If you want to use perception in general, though, then go ahead.
Yes, I would!
Go ahead.
Thank you. Alright.
That
That was almost a 19!
That was almost a 1! Yeah. That's what we all ood at.
I mean, the 19 and the 1 are right there.
Alrighty. Yeah, you managed to...
flirted with fate.
Being observant, paying attention to what's above you, you manage to avoid the trajectory of the blasts. You try to pay attention to where they've hit, where you think they're going to hit. Where are you... So you're avoiding getting hit. What are you doing as well? Like, are you doing anything to try to escape? Are you receding? Are you going forward? What are you doing?
I'd be going forward. I'd be trying to reach the rest of the group that's made it across.
Okay. So you're chasing Miriam and the King of Lions.
Yeah.
Taking Fenris off there. Finally, Tag.
I would like to persuade the flames to
Nice. I really wanted to be like, I take out a pot and pan, but I can't.
I would like to use my my sword's ability, the freezing cone, to try and douse the flames as they get near me.
Okay. Whew, that's a magic item thing. So the skill we'd use for that, let's say, tick off a use of that ability, unless it's infinite.
It's a once per day thing.
Alright, so tick it off. We'll say with advantage, roll me, it's not a skill check, but roll me just an attack roll with the weapon.
Ooh.
And do it with advantage, because you're using a resource in this way.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
And alright.
A bunch.
So you're doing that. You manage to create a cone that manages to douse the flames as they come near you. But this is a temporary defensive measure. What are you doing alongside this? Like, what are you being proactive at?
Yeah. As I'm dousing the flames, I'm just kind of flying towards, like, I guess, a more defensive position.
So you are flying.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you flying like up? Are you following the other flyers?
I think he'd fly towards the more dense group of people.
Okay. So Wrench and Flux are going up. Everybody else is going forward.
Okay. He'd be kind of just in the defensive position with the rest of the people that are not flying.
Okay.
Then
I'm gonna take you off of there. Nemric, Avi, Miriam. You three are gonna make dexterity saves against the flames.
Let's go.
Alrighty. And here they come. Whopya! I said whopya. There we go.
That's what I said.
Oh,
could I use a ring of evasion?
Remind me what it does.
Let me succeed this dex save.
Sure, yeah.
I have evasion, so thankfully.
Yep, as they blast, luckily, so you avoid it entirely. So you're just removed from it. Miriam, you succeed. Avi, you got, what, a 17? Avi, I'm afraid you got hit.
Yeah.
It's not a half on save, so Avi, as you try to dodge out of the way, unfortunately, you're hit by it. You're going to take 68 fire damage.
Oh, 6d8.
Yes.
Okay.
I know, dude.
Yeah, what?
When has anyone ever used 68 as a static number?
I thought you had already rolled it or something.
No.
Yeah.
Especially if you were gonna give a static number that close, come on.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
It's
69.
69, yeah.
Like,
All right, as you do, you all managed to avoid them. Several of you are now up above. I would like those of you that are currently flying overhead, that being Wrench and Flux. Could you guys roll me perception checks?
Sure.
Woo!
Pretty good.
Pretty gosh dang
yeah.
okay.
Come on, blow him out of the water, Wrench. Roll a 20.
Alejandro dead.
Destroy me, Master Wrench.
Wrench,
Oh.
roll perception.
All right.
got this, boy.
All right.
So close to it.
Hi-ya!
As you both get up above the Bastille's upper area, since you are both flying, you do have a shot of the area. You can see the edges of where this sunlight that's making it look like it's daytime. You can see that it does have an end. It's about 1,000 feet across. The range of this light effect. Looking up, though, you can, for the first time, see the source of it. For a second, you have to strain your eyes, because it does seem to just be this radiant ball of light. But focusing on it for just a second, you see what looks to be this massive, ship-shaped, what for a second just looks like golden brass, airship. These large brass wings extend out from the back with this feathered pattern. The entire hull appears to be made of just coated in metal, except for one large circle in the front that appears to be one very large, very hot-looking radiant ball, an opening where you presume the blasts of flame are coming from. In fact, as you fly up, you see several gouts of flame being shot out from it. You see flying up above it, there's this large brass ring, this massive ring that in the center of it floats a sphere of pure golden energy, which is what's giving off the light that you're seeing. Or to be more specific, you see this.
Ooh.
Oh. Cool.
I want to make a joke, but I'm not going to because it looks really cool.
Though most of you managed to avoid the damage from the explosions and whatnot, the remaining parts of the Bastille around you begin to crumble and collapse down in on you. At this time, Miriam,
Yeah.
would you like to use your dimension door idea to get out of there? As it begins to collapse around you, is that what you would like to try to do?
Yep.
Alright, and you're taking the King of Lions with you?
Yeah.
As you do, you grab onto them. For a second, they are a tad bit confused about what you're doing, but as you grab onto them, you vanish, so you will be removed from what's happening as you teleport up above, and you see the same thing. You're about 300 feet below the airship that's hanging in the air. As you fly up, those who remain inside, you're trying to avoid the collapsing walls, as the Bastille, having been blasted, is now collapsing in around you. Avi.
I'm going to try to fly as far as I can forward, just bobbing and weaving around the falling debris.
Alright, roll me a dexterity
That's all I
check.
Oh.
I'm dying today, boys. Goodbye.
Oh no.
Later.
Lexi, you are still inside. Nemric, you are still inside. What would you like to do?
I would like to, again, just start running away, but I would like to keep my eyes on the falling debris, and I'd like to maybe use my wisdom to try to tell where they're going to fall in my path.
Sure, alright. You'll try to predict where they fall. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom check.
Oh, damn. Well, Avi, I guess we're dying together. I guess we're dying together.
Alright.
I can't wait for Wrench to fall after I die.
As you try to predict where they're going to land, there's a large flash from up above as the golden sun on top of the airship seems to let out this radiant pulse, and just for a second you're distracted. The next up would be King of Lions is out of there, Flux is out of there, Miriam's out of there, Fenris.
Okay. So, can I times embrace to do a dexterity?
That's only for saves.
Nuts. Okay. Well,
However, I don't see any reason why you couldn't use that reactively here, given the context.
Okay. Cool.
So you can add that, but it's to a check. So don't bother, like, click off a use of it, but
Yeah,
add the
just put an
bonus in your
advantage.
modifier. Is it advantage?
Yeah.
Or is it a bonus?
It's advantage.
Okay, then roll a
Because I'm
dexterity
like-
check with advantage.
Yes, I should have considered that my check is +0. Alright.
Well, it is what it is. Alright, even briefly slowing down your perception of time, unfortunately, the building is collapsing from all sides at this point. So it's not a matter of looking for the way out or dodging, as much as there just doesn't seem to be a path of escape for you. Tag.
I'd like to brute force my way out. Either like through enduring like the like what's to come, or like just using my strength to get out of the way.
As you're rushing forward, you see the front area, the gates are collapsing inwards, rubble begins to build up in front of them. We'll say if you want to use strength to try to pile drive your way through and try to get out of the front of the building as that's happening, then you may.
I would.
Roll
I
me
want to
strength.
preemptively use my my pact talisman to just give me an extra d4.
Isn't that a thing that you can use, like, if you roll and fail?
I believe so, but yeah, I'll roll first, and
Yeah.
then we'll see. Never mind. I won't be doing that.
Alrighty. You rush forward. As you do, you break through as things begin to collapse. You put your shoulder forward using the extra speed you gain from flying. You break through the front of it, crashing through some rocks and debris that have gathered at the gates. Is Carrie back?
Why are you
Okay.
Theo?
Carrie,
Hooray!
everything's collapsing around you. The
Yes.
building is collapsing
That's
in on you. What ability check are you using to avoid this?
Everything's collapsing around. Oh,
Yeah, the
fuck.
building is
Okay.
collapsing.
I deceive it into thinking we're not.
Ability check. What ability check are you using?
Can I? Oh, fuck, that's not gonna work. I was gonna be like, can I use my intelligence to figure out where things are going to fall and then avoid them?
Sure. I mean,
Sweet.
technically that's more wisdom, what you're describing.
I'd like it to be intelligence.
If you want to roll intelligence.
Wisdom is
Calculating
perceive, and
angles and
intelligence
stuff.
is predict.
Okay. I'd like to predict where things
Yes.
are going
Alright,
to fall.
go ahead.
Sweet. Cool. Oh, that's rough there, Lexi.
Oh, join us in
No.
As it collapses in around you, all of you take 22 points of bludgeoning damage. Nemric, thank God you maintained concentration.
Wrench and Miriam don't fall today.
And all of you who failed, you are also... 1 second. You are also prone, and you are restrained under the debris.
Oh, jeez.
As it collapses in around you, as the remains of it crumble, the entire upper floor collapses. The building, now just a remains of some of the walls standing, but most of the bottom of it having collapsed inwards and fallen onto you. As it does, the blasts continue to echo outwards as the area is reduced to not much more than the floor plan and something of a crater. And then,
This is fine.
finally, as it does, several more blasts of flame strike the area, the moat, the water that surrounds the Bastille, in such a way that those of you who are trapped, you start to become aware of the area flooding.
Oh, loud, we go round,
Those of
ladies
you
and
who are-
gents.
Now, Tag, how close to the ground would you say you are?
I'd be near ground level.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, as you would be close enough that as the moat becomes turbulent, as waves begin to rock the area and water rushes in towards the center of the Bastille, you will have to make a save against this. This is skill checks again. What would you like to do, Tag, to avoid being swept away and knocked prone and pulled by the current? You are actually the only person that's going to get to make this, because all the others automatically
Oh
fail.
god.
Could I just simply like fly up to avoid
You
it?
could try to. If you want to, then go ahead and roll me, let's say, acrobatics. Please
It's not
ahead
gonna
and
go
roll.
well, but you know. Nope.
Oh no! As you turn, as you become aware of all of the others being, pulled underneath the rubble and become worried as the water rushes in. Suddenly a wave of water strikes you from behind. So the thing is... no, yeah, you're pulled along with it. So you are pulled by the current, Tag, as it rushes forward, and as the water begins to move in, all of you that are prone, you find yourself very quickly underwater. Tag, I need a strength save from you.
I'm pretty good at those.
Come on, Tag, you got this.
The others are restrained, so this won't pull. Oh no!
Get rid of those dice! Get rid of them!
Yeah,
Fucking smelt them! They gotta go!
No, I won't betray my dice.
Oh God.
So Tag,
But they betrayed you first.
as the water rushes inward, you are pulled with it as you are not restrained by anything, and as you're knocked prone, despite the fly spell, you are knocked prone and taken by the water. The water begins to drain down towards the stairs, and you are pulled with the current as it begins to fill the bottom area. You are pulled in with it into the staircase, fully underwater, as it is slowly starting to pull you under. So those that are up above, there's two sequences of everything collapsing, then the water being rushing in. You would all become aware, as this happens, of the Bastille flooding. You see the moat almost looks like it's risen up somewhat unnaturally as it begins to flood inward. And you see the area where everybody else was get overtaken. You guys would hear the brief scream as you see Tag getting pulled by the current towards the door that leads back underground, and you see him disappear with the flow of water.
Shit. Because if he was still out, I would have swooped down and hookshot at him, or tried to, but if he's already
If you want to try to do that, there would be time for you to do that, I'd say. If you want to make a hookshot attack with disadvantage, we'll say, because he's big and you're tiny, against Tag. And don't bother rolling it onto the thing, just like roll it. Just roll a disadvantage into the chat.
Okay.
You got this.
How I do that specifically with hookshot?
You have hookshot as an attack.
Sorry. Yep. I see it. And do I just roll twice?
You can hit the dis button and then drag it.
Cool.
Come on, baby.
16. Tag. Roll me a dex save.
Okay. It's 19 plus.
As he is about to get pulled down, I'd say between the two of those, Wrench, you turn, you go, your arm unfurls, the hookshot part of it is released, and you fire it forward. As you do, Tag, it strikes into your armor, almost pulls out, but you grab onto it, and just as you're about to go down, struggling against the current of the water gushing down the stairs, you find yourself held against it, still prone, still fighting that current, but you do not go down into the bottom of the building with the water that's draining.
Thank you, Wrench.
Everybody else, Miriam, you would appear 500 feet up with the King of Lions, and Flux, you would also be up top. Would you guys like to do anything?
Yes. Could I try, seeing where everyone got buried by debris, could I try and prime a shatter grenade to, like, blast apart the debris and make it easier for them to dig themselves out?
Yeah, that sounds like a fine idea.
Hell yeah.
Why don't we say, roll me a shatter grenade, so why don't you roll a intelligence check in the place of an attack?
Alright. Am I allowed to brain blast this?
It's a check, you can. I'd say that you'd be applying this to trying to figure out where it could go, so yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, then I will use that. There we go. And intelligence check.
22. You aim it downwards. Roll me 1d4 to determine how many people you could free with this.
Alright. Come on, baby, come on! Ah!
That is unfortunate.
Pick your favorite, Flux.
That's not okay. I think it should be random. The others will hold it against me. I know they will.
Pick your favorite. Go for it.
Now choose.
Who do you want to save?
Fluxaman!
Fucking,
Who would you rather have around?
Who's your favorite?
I did save your life. No, I'm kidding.
Damn.
God. You know, just for that, Nemric.
Yeah.
You're picking Nemric?
Well,
a terrible choice.
You seeing what's going on to everybody? You see his wings disappear and reappear briefly as he's trying to make whatever room he can. You throw the grenade down. As you do, You hear the click of it hitting the rubble above you, Nemric, and you briefly see this tiny grenade letting off these little flashes and this high-pitched... And you just cover your head as it explodes, sound echoes out, and the debris that's above you is destroyed. I would say you are free, Nemric.
Just dart outwards from... Whoa!
Darts up from the water. That leaves, Lexi and Davi.
Oh, and Fenris.
And Fenris.
is also drowning.
The ladies.
Guys are losing all your ladies.
I'd say that leaves us with Miriam. Is there anything that you would like to do at this time?
So immediately, does the ship look like it's still firing?
No, it's stopped at this point. I would also note, Miriam, because you're generally observant enough, despite the onslaught, the sky has not changed color. The moon has not changed color during any of this.
That goes with what we've been told, though. Yeah, finish the fight. I'm gonna cast Dimension Door again.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna take them the rest of the way to the ship. The next, what, 300?
Yep. You sure do.
Oh no.
Alrighty. So, Miriam, you end up on the deck of this ship, which don't trust the way the map looks. I've given Sid very specific
I'm gonna bring
instructions.
us above the deck. I'm gonna be about 60 feet higher.
Okay. In relation to the large floating sphere that's above it, which itself is about 40, 50 feet above the deck, where would you like to be?
I'd like to be just towards the front of the ship.
Okay. So I put you on there, so you want to be like around here?
That works for me, yeah. That's fine.
Alright, and holding the King of Lions with you?
Yeah.
Alright. As you go up, as you teleport towards it, initially you see nothing. It appears to just be a very long deck. At the far end of the back of the ship, there seems to be a very large cabin that is large enough that it constitutes its own small building. Up above you, the glowing radiant sphere continues to move. Now that you're close enough to it, you can hear the kind of undulating, reverbing, this low hum that comes from it as it slowly spins. Now that you're close to it, you can see that there are these arcane circles of energy that wrap around the small sun contained above it. However, despite that, at the height you're at, everything else is relatively quiet. The sound of wind howls near you. As you set down the deck, you see there's several... or you don't set down, but you see down below you there are several relatively tall stone spires. The entire area is the size of the courtyard of a castle. As you sit, given your angle, roll me a perception check.
Oh my god!
Oh,
no!
This is so bad!
The mouse dice, boy, holy fuck.
Not a good day.
You're fine.
You hear a
Nothing's
voice. You hear a voice that seems to echo from every part of the ship at once, and as it talks, you see the sun-like core up above it seems to modulate, and the light flickers along with it, as if it's speaking. You just hear, "Come up to die, have you? I didn't think you'd be so brave. And so few of you made it."
Brave? More like stupid, but... Hi!
"If you wish to go back and aid your friends, I will not stop you."
How do you feel, King? Turn and look at them.
"Given the amount of us that made it up here, I'm not sure. I've never fought this person at full strength."
Let's cause some chaos.
Oh, so cool.
You see a figure walking from the building that is from the large cabin, the structure on the back of the ship, walking out from it, and you see them underneath the large glowing sun, walking very large, very imposing. This person stands very tall, very high above what you would expect from a humanoid. Not quite a giant, but they do stand at least 8 feet, 9 feet. They have red skin, black, what looks to be black leather armor that is the color of coal. They have a weapon that appears to be, as it has been explained to you before, it looks like fire incarnate, fused down into the shape of a sword. A wisping, flaming scarf moves about their body as wildly and erratically. Flaming hair. At first, This looks like a Ganassi whenever you see them. But upon a closer inspection, from what you've seen of people like Agravain, you feel this couldn't be. Golden armor adorns them around their waist. Very muscular. Female in form, but imposing. Horns that look almost demonic stretch out, come to 2 points in front of their head, then twist back, wreathed in their flaming hair. You see this individual. They step forward. They step underneath the sun. They look up at you with featureless eyes that just look like burning cinders with nothing else within them. Even from this distance, you feel their eyes piercing into you. I am Jakku Il Norkar. I am the Rekindler, rightful Grand Sultan of the City of Brass. Who are you?
I am Captain Rion Reynolds, the Lord of Cinder, Master of Summergrass.
Full circle, full circle.
Master of Summergrass.
I'd bow, but I'm holding someone.
You come from the same place as that fool.
It's true. We don't miss him.
Indeed.
He's just the worst.
I had only come here to shake your group up. I have no real interest in facing you, Reynolds.
This is the best.
Instead, perhaps my better half. They turn and they begin walking back. As they do, you see these blackish flames begin to move around them. And you hear this, what sounds like the caw of a bird, but monumentous and huge, echoes out. You see the flaming sphere that's in front of you light up, and the same blackish flames that begin to move around Jakku seem to emerge from it, spread out, and you see them take the form of a massive bird. Chains of cinder begin to form from it as it takes shape, as this tremendous creature that, as you look at it, is the size of the only thing you've seen in scale that might compare to it would have been Tenebros. You see what looks to be a multi-winged phoenix, as best you could describe it, appears from the flaming sphere that rises above the ship.
Oh.
Those of you that are not on the ship, those of you that are down below, you become aware of the temperature change as everything seems to warm up. Even those of you that can't see it, those of you who are hundreds of feet away, you feel yourself begin to sweat, as if with the emergence of this creature up above, the air is beginning to burn. I would say everybody should roll initiative at this point, because fighting is happening.
That was nearly a one again. Oh.
Come on,
Smell your fucking dice!
Yeah, you gotta get new dice,
No,
homie.
don't betray your dice. They'll come.
No,
God damn, Lexi.
What is with all these ones? I thought we got past
God.
I got a
I
15.
thought we got past this,
That's pretty
man.
good. Revenge, get it.
This is how we die.
Yep.
Avi, you are currently underwater. Rushing water is pouring over you as you're pinned under pieces of rubble.
Can I try to flash Victorious out of there?
Good call.
You can. So the issue that you're bumping into is there is rushing water going over you. If you try to throw Vox
Yeah.
Victoria, it might just go with the current. So you'd have to... I would need you to roll an attack roll with disadvantage, and I'd say you need to beat the DC that the water has static for the effects that it has. Would you be willing to do that?
Because the other option is probably, what, like strength check to try to get the fuck out of there?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically the other option.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm willing to do that. There's a better chance of that than with, strength check for me.
Yep, fair.
Okay. Do you want just normal, or do you want it thrown just for specifics?
Attack roll with
Matters
disadvantage
the same.
from Vox
Alright,
Victoria.
Cool. And, alright.
Can't see the other one. Oh
It's
god.
thinking about
The
it.
suspense is killing me.
I know!
Also, did you do disadvantage?
I did disadvantage. The other one rolled
There
off
it is.
the ether.
19?
That's real good.
So you pull out Vox Victoria, and you do throw it. You use Flash Victorious to teleport to it, so you check off a use of that. Unfortunately, it doesn't break the surface of the water, so as it teleports, you are still underneath the current and being pulled by it.
Okay, but I'm no longer pinned.
Correct. You are no longer restrained or prone. You are. Oh, you would be. Well, for the sake of it, we'll say when you're within the current, you're still prone. You are hurtling towards Tag because that's where the water is draining. He's currently fighting the current, trying to pull himself up above with the help of Wrench, but you are pulled back towards him. Taguchi, you would see the winged form of Aviana in the water being pulled in your direction.
Finally, she's coming towards me.
I know. You know, the world just had to work against me for it to happen.
I'm just imagining a bird flailing a bird bath.
Aww.
A bird joke made.
I'm out. Okay. So I technically still have movement. Technically? Could I try to use my wings to kind of maneuver myself out of the way of Tag and up? Because I also have my boots of flying.
You are, but you're being pulled by the water.
I know. I'm trying to think
You would
through
need... I'd say you'd need to roll me probably a strength check to try to break free from the current.
Okay. I'm willing to do that.
Please do so.
Oh! I'm gonna burn a luck point. I'm gonna burn a luck point. I gotta
go
get
ahead.
out of here.
Burn a luck point.
That was almost another one.
I know
and
it
I was.
was.
Guys,
today, y'all.
Does anyone have any sage or anything? I think we gotta smudge our fucking fantasy grounds.
Right?
Shit.
Damn.
Man.
It's fine. Miriam's still alive currently. I did what I came here to do.
Wrench.
That's me.
Wrench and Taguchi, please both roll me a strength saving throw.
I'm so sorry.
And Wrench, please do so with disadvantage because you're technically trying to hold far more weight than you're able to pull at this point. Because Avi is going to collide with Tag.
Okay. Oh, man.
Oh my god.
I blame
This is
Aviana.
why I don't betray my dice.
Hey Tag, you're like
As
a really
Avi
strong
crashes
full
into
wrench down.
Tag, you manage to grab onto them and prevent them from slipping past you, and also from knocking you free. But as you're hit, Wrench, with the extra weight, you are pulled down almost to the surface of the water, and as you're pulled down, the line causes them to go about 10 feet down the stairwell, both of them underwater being pulled down with it, but still managing to hold on as Wrench, you stay just above the surface of the water, your hook shot penetrating into it, you pulling furiously back against it. Wrench, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Shit, what can I do? Reel them back like a bunch of fish? See if I can, like, pull them, like, just, like, you know, just fucking grab onto my arm and as I try to fly back to muster the strength that I have or whatever the fuck.
Please roll me an athletics check with advantage. Or with disadvantage, rather.
Fuck.
Again, this is over your carry weight. These two.
Oh my God,
especially Tag with his armor.
Motherfuckers.
Wow.
Listen
that
here.
thing.
Oh.
Wait.
Okay, waiting.
Waiting. Hold on.
All right.
Sword said shit.
Yep, you got it. Hold on. All right, wait. Which is...
Wait.
Waiting.
Even my dog is...
Usually.
fuck. Fuck. I'm trying to see one that can help.
Oh, buddy.
Shit, no.
Do you have proficiency in athletics? You do not, so you can't use...
No, I have proficiency in acrobatics and sight.
If you wanted, you could use Dragon Surge, and I'd say you could try again.
Yeah, but because that's for like a 15 movement, and then I can do another action.
Another action, yeah. This would be the action. I'd say that in failing that, you are being pulled down. Like, at this point, your feet and waist would be pulled under the water as you're trying to pull back.
All right.
Logan, I forgot I had this. Can I use Lion's Warcry?
Are you trying to give him movement?
It gives advantage on like either one attack roll, saving throw, or ability check.
Sure. It would have to be the people that could hear you, so we would
Yeah.
say it'd basically just be Wrench and Flux, because the others
Anybody
are underwater.
above the water, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm over the water.
Oh yeah, and Nemric. In that case,
Hey.
why don't you roll that athletics check? Let's see, you would have dropped the first 12, so you would have gotten a 15. I'll say that doesn't beat it, but you are not pulled. You managed to stay in place, Wrench.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to use Dragon Surge to try to pull back again to try to get them farther out, you
I'm
may.
gonna try one more time. Am I still rolling at a disadvantage?
This one would be, yeah.
All right. And it was a.
I'm sorry, I tried.
Athletics, you said?
Yes.
All right. Come on, baby. 2 nat 20s.
Come on.
That's the exact opposite.
Nemric, you see, so Wrench, you have a moment of being pulled and pulling back against it, and you have that instant where you just become aware, like, oh, my arm's about to give out. Like, you just have the moment of, it's not working. You all see Wrench struggling for a sec, look to all of you with a worried look, and then look exasperated for a sec with just a, as he just into the water.
Oh no.
Oh
Master
no.
Wrench!
As I go into the water, I just go, fuck. And then I get
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, the nest is going to take a turn. Flux, as this is happening, you see light building up from up above you, and as you turn, you see another large blast of fire streaks towards you. And it misses! As it fires towards you, a flurry of shots fly at you. You do manage. This would go at 3 people, actually, so this would go at... The other 2 are up above. So, Nemric, you would also be targeted by this.
Oh.
Oh, crap. Don't lose concentration, man!
What is being fired at me?
These kinetic blasts of force from the ship are firing down towards you.
Oh, okay, so it's not like more fireballs.
It's bolts of flame.
Can I absorb it?
It doesn't hit you, actually, in that one's.
Oh, never mind.
As that one flies towards you, it soars by you, missing by a pretty wide margin.
He brings up the mace slightly, but then it's like, oh, never mind.
Alright. As that happens, Jakku is going to do nothing. They continue walking back. You see them disappear into the room at the end of the ship. With that, Miriam, it is your turn.
I cast Polymorph on the King of Lions. I let go of them and turn them into a T-Rex.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay.
Boy, the T-Rex over.
They fall down, and as they go, we'll negate the fall damage just for the fun of it. As they fall, you turn them into a T-Rex. Go ahead, apply it to them. There they go. They crash down. As they land as a T-Rex.
I'm then gonna fly behind whatever this is.
As it turns, sure, that is on the deck. I'll have you, just so you know, that's only like 8 or 9 feet tall, so you'd have to go down.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. As you go down to the deck, as the T-Rex roars at the much larger phoenix in front of it, as it seems to display killing intent, the moon turns red.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, no.
jeez.
And I need to grab an effect and put it on everybody.
No, you don't.
Oh, do you have to?
I'm afraid I do.
That's
Oh.
impossible.
Phoenix, why are you a freaking table member?
But the
Say no thank you.
the light
Say
doesn't
no thank
reach
you.
me, you see.
The light is everywhere. The light is
No.
inside you. Everything the
Oh,
light
jeez.
touches.
Oh no, I feel inspired.
It seems to cause everything to burn. The water that you guys are in seems to begin to heat up. Not to the point of boiling, but it does feel like it's starting to become uncomfortably hot. The ground begins to singe, as if the red moon caused by Jakku is causing the temperature of the area to go up. Those of you that are above water, the smell of burning wood immediately fills the area, and you find it,
no.
and many of you won't notice this, but it starts to become difficult to breathe. It spreads its wings, and it rushes across the deck. It gets uncomfortably warm as it comes close to you. As it rushes forward, its massive wings spread wide, and it is going to make, whatever attacks it can against the T-Rex. As it swoops in, it's going to attempt to make 2 attacks, one with its beak and one with its talons. It goes for the beak one first.
When it makes the beak attack, I'm going to, cutting words that, like, pile on a cracker, and I'll just fire glitter at it with precipitation.
Right. Do you want to apply the effect to him?
Yep.
Alright, so first thing that's going to happen, we're going to do the attack. As it attacks, it still hits.
Probably, it's a T-Rex.
Yeah.
As it hits, it bites into it. Its beak is almost large enough to go around the T-Rex's neck. As it does, it takes 18 damage, and furthermore, the T-Rex is set on fire. And not only that, but having entered into its space, the somewhat inconsistent form of this phoenix, you notice the flames that constitute its body seem to weave and move around the stone pillars that are on the deck. As they do, the T-Rex is going to take a little bit of fire damage just from being near it. It takes 5 more points of damage. This thing is then going to fly up, provoking no opportunity attacks.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
As it holds up above it, the T-Rex roars towards it. Fenris, it is your turn.
Okay. I would like to bonus action Misty Step out of the being pinned.
Okay.
That's my plan too.
Are you doing that like to get above the water?
Yeah, I would try to get above the water.
Alrighty. As you do so, you use Misty Step, you teleport to a piece of rubble that is above the flowing of the water current. As you do, you try to gasp for air, but as you do, all you breathe in is what feels like ash, and your lungs begin to burn. Despite being out of the water, you are still suffocating.
Can I try to swim to like anywhere I can clamber out?
You're like standing on a piece of rubble above the water. If you want to swim, you will have to fight the current of the water. It is, strong. You may end up pulling you towards the underground where the others are. Tag, you're on deck, by the way.
Can I Misty Step again if I'm not using my actual action?
No, you can only take 1 bonus action a turn, I'm afraid.
Henry! I think I'm gonna try to swim against it. That's the only thing I can think of to do.
Okay, please roll me an athletics check.
Okay. Alright. Dice?
Come on.
Be cool! That's cool!
Pretty cool.
Alrighty.
Is it good enough, though?
As you jump into the water and begin to swim forward, you do manage to fight against it. It would be difficult terrain, but given your position, I'd say you get out to the front, you get to the part where the bridge and the gate would be in the Bastille, and you manage to avoid being pulled by the water. You pull yourself up out of it, and for all intents and purposes, you are out of the danger zone where the water is pouring in.
Or did I use all my movement?
I'll say you can stand. Sure.
Okay, cool. That's my turn.
What is your Constitution modifier?
My Constitution modifier is +1.
Cool. Good to know.
I have a 13.
So you're down. That's down to 10 then.
What?
Taguchi, you will not be affected by the red moon because you don't have to breathe, so don't worry about that. It is your turn. Lexi, you're on deck.
So, Wrench is drowning.
Wrench is now underwater. He's holding his breath. He is still pulling, because he can still fly. He is still trying to pull you back, even though he's underwater, so you are still holding on by the hook shot, and Avi is kind of latched onto you.
Can I try and pull him up by just pulling the hook shot he has attached to me?
Well, you're underwater.
Oh, I'm underwater.
Well, because he's trying to pull you against the current. You are what's pulling him down.
Yeah, you and I are drowning fucking.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood.
This is your fault.
Can I try and make my way to the surface then?
You could try to swim against the current if you want to. You'd have to roll athletics, although you would probably have to let go of Avi, or you would have disadvantage.
Let me go with
Bye, Avi.
Avi!
Well, sorry.
I said I blame Avi.
Yeah.
Avi!
Actually, you know what? You got the fly spell on, so I'll say that using the magic of it, you'd still have to roll athletics to get against the current, but I'd say that that will account for holding Avi.
Yay!
Okay. Perfect.
Go fly spell!
Then I'll just, can I roll regular athletics then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where's all the other fly spells, guys? I'm the only one who did the plan.
22.
You managed to push forward as you begin to move Wrench, so because you weren't really as pulled by the current as them. As he begins to go up, Wrench, you also pull back. You emerge from the water, just your head bloops out the top of the water as you're pulling back. So Nemric, you just see Wrench's head just bloop.
Oh dear gods!
As he begins to pull back, you see him pulling the hook shot with all his strength, and you see Tag holding Avi emerge from the top of the water.
Thanks.
No problem. Is everyone okay?
No!
That's no good.
Who can I
was that-
see? Like,
Not my daughter.
Was that my action?
I'd say yeah, to move it would have been your action to fight against the current.
There's not a lot else I can do. Since I'm above the water, can I start flying above it?
Yeah. We'll say it would have been half movement to get above, you would have been down no more than 10 feet, so about 20 feet of movement would have been spent. We'll say you could get 40 feet up.
Sounds good. Can I, could I have taken Wrench with me?
I imagine once you're up, Wrench, because he's like 15 feet away from you, firing his hookshot down onto you. He would have emerged because you wouldn't be pulling him down. If Wrench wanted
The one
to.
you're holding is Avi.
Yeah. Yeah, if Wrench wants to let go with the hook shot, he's safe to do so if you wish to, Wrench.
Yeah, fuck them.
Cool.
Okay.
Damn.
It was a valiant effort, Wrench.
Then I will
In fact, I
fly.
kicked them back in the water.
I'll fly 40 feet up, making my way towards the ship because I'm not aware of what is happening.
As you get up above and you start to see with the ship up above, you see the large brass ship that's floating. Then you also see two large pairs of what look like black flaming wings stretching out the sides.
What in the world? All right then. That's all of me.
All right, Lexi, it's your turn. But before that,
oh.
No.
well, Lexi, you are beginning to suffocate on the ash. As that happens, however, legendary action from the Embering Elder.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. Are you trying to tell me that this thing is a legendary creature? I don't believe it.
No. No.
No,
It is-
no.
It swoops down towards it, and it's going to make an attack against the T-Rex. But instead of attacking, it is going to attempt to grapple the T-Rex.
Oh.
What?
Oh no, it's big enough to do that.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna be real with you. This creature is large enough that it's a size category that I made for the game. This is a tremendous creature. I have a system of size classifications that go beyond gargantuan because I have an issue with how big things get. This is a big boy.
Is it one
man,
size category
that's
larger than
so-
gargantuan,
that's so big.
or is it several?
Tremendous. Tremendous is, I believe it's 2 size categories up.
Oh.
Thing, guys, I don't fucking know. Why is that a bad thing?
He's like,
It's
you
a
fucking
big
eat
cake.
us.
Yeah,
It's
kind of
it's a big cake.
Small, you guys
Especially
could
me
eat
and you.
Bro,
It is going-
I'm small. You guys could eat me. Like I don't know what the fuck you're on.
It rolls a nat 20 on its strength check. All right, now the T-Rex is gonna have to roll a strength check. It fails.
Look, Marion, you need to start trying to listen
Marion,
to that.
you see this thing's claws come down, grapple onto the T-Rex and begin lifting it up, and with the remaining movement granted by the legendary action, it pulls it into the air. Like a seagull about to drop a clam on the beach.
Oh,
Oh.
That's
Oh no.
that's gonna be its turn. Lexi, what are you doing?
Cool. I'm gonna try to Misty Step out from being pinned.
You can do so.
Hopefully to the surface of the cloth here.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say you
I
could
would
do
like
so.
to
Same
do-
as Fenris, you could Misty Step up and get on a piece of wreckage.
Cool.
As you get up, though, you do once again find that you also are still suffocating. There's nothing but ash. When you try to breathe in, you feel like you're trying to breathe fire.
Oh, fuck, can I do anything else?
Lexi, over here.
A bonus action. Well, I would hear Fenris, so could I try to go towards Fenris?
You would
can I
have
try
to.
You'd have to swim.
You'd have to roll
and that'd be
athletics to
bad.
swim through the water.
I mean, there's no harm in me attempting to swim. Like, what else am I gonna do with that action?
If you fail, the
Right?
current will drag you away.
Oh,
It'll drag you
there
towards
is
it.
harm in me attempting.
It
I
just
Into
might.
me.
Okay, then let's maybe wait a turn and then we'll just switch over to
Okay,
Fenris
cool,
when
cool,
we
cool,
can.
cool.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Cool, 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 cool.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. I'm
See-
gonna just float here, suffocating to death.
Okay. What's your
Okay.
con mod?
+2. Wait, no, con 0. I'm a fucking 0, boy.
Cool.
Fuck!
Nemric, Flux, you're on deck.
He would, as soon as everything turned red, he would look up, note, that is where Miriam is. He would, like, turn to, like, fly up there, then he would stop, look back down, see Alexi stranded.
Nemric, you are a resident of Phlegethos, which is the realm of the in the hells that is the most closely associated with fire. So if you want to, would you like to roll a nature check real quick?
I would love to roll a nature check real quick. Yeah.
Come on, baby.
10.
I was looking for a 10 or higher with you.
Yay!
Looking up towards it, you have heard of them. They don't exist in Phlegethos, but given that you have come into contact with talks about things that are like the pinnacle of fire magic and the elemental plane of fire, because, you know, Fiona controls the flames of Phlegethos, you would become aware that what you're seeing up there from the wings you can see, though it shouldn't be blackened and though it seems to have been altered somehow, you become generally aware that what you're seeing appears to be a phoenix, which is an elder fire elemental, which you would know is a big enough deal that if those appear in the material plane, they cause effectively apocalyptic natural disasters. They are the top dogs in the elemental plane of fire, the top of the food chain, as high as you can get in the fire elementals.
I see. You know how, like...
Something
like,
Fierna
whenever-
would even respect.
You know how, like, whenever cats are afraid, they put their ears down? Like, that I'm looking up, and, like, my freaking elf, like, here just droop down, like,
Oh no! What is it, Master Nemric?
We need to leave.
Oh, I
Now.
assumed that.
Now! I'm gonna rush down, I'm gonna grab Lexi. I'm dive bombing Lexi, and I'm rushing away.
What are you doing?
We have to go!
Okay.
I'm flying off toward Fenris.
Fenris is over there, though.
I'm bringing her to Fenris, basically, is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Is that you?
Arms out,
I
past
will-
the baby.
I will
Freddy.
fling myself toward Fenris. After dropping Lexi off at Fenris, I will start flying up, looking to head straight to Miriam. That is me.
All right, you start flying heading straight towards it. Yeah.
Can I also, as a bonus action, activate my where is it at? Flames of Passion, so that I can get resistance to fire real quick.
Sure. All right.
And that is me.
Flux, but before you go, Flux,
Oh, no.
you don't have to breathe, do you, Flux?
No.
All right, so you do not risk suffocation. 1 second. You don't suffocate on the air. But, legendary action, final legendary action from the Elder Elemental, it's going to move up to its movement speed, which it'll do at half speed, because it's carrying something. Miriam, you see it swoop over and move off the side of the deck with the T-Rex. And just very casually, as it gets over the side, you see the T-Rex tries to dig its claws into the ground, but it, despite flailing with them almost pathetically, almost like a dog in comparison to it, it can't get a grip on the ground. And as it goes over the side, the Elder Elemental simply drops the King of Lions.
I can't do anything.
They're gonna begin falling.
I just see the Phoenix drop a fucking T-Rex on it. flying toward it.
What is happening up there?
We're gonna say it's gonna fall at a rate of 300 feet per round. It begins to...
How far up are they?
800 feet.
They're like 800
Oh,
feet.
no!
Wrench
It's a good thing it can only go up to 20d6.
Wrench just thinks he's hallucinating because he's still breathing and trying to regain oxygen in his tiny lungs.
Alright. Flux, sorry, I just missed your turn. What do you like to do, Flux? You see up above, you all now see the full form of the Embering Elder. As it takes a T-Rex, as if carrying a tiny dog, off the side of the deck, and drops it, and it begins hurtling down to the ground.
Huh. Let me just check something. We've seen... Yeah, I've definitely seen Miriam turn things into T-Rexes. So, could maybe make a
Twice
guess
in the
as
last
to what-
day.
Yeah. Could make a guess. I'm just gonna check some wording here. Alright, yeah. Featherfall?
You would have... How close do you have to be to it?
60 feet.
60 feet.
Oh, that's a...
So I guess I'm gonna fly up toward
Because you're
following
currently...
Nemric and
You
Miriam.
would be maybe about 50 feet in the air. It is at 500 feet.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna follow Nemric flying up toward the ship, and I'll use my reaction to use Featherfall on it whenever it kind of gets into range.
Okay, so you both kind of fly at an angle towards it. We hadn't established, like, how far away it is, but we'll say that's superfluous for the purposes of this. As it's falling, you change your course slightly to try to get under it as you see this T-Rex falling for a substantial period of time. This is enough of a drop that it's not just a one-and-done thing. This is a long descent, and certainly not something you ever thought you'd see a T-Rex doing. Back to the top of the turn order. Avi?
Hey.
Avi, you find yourself beginning to suffocate. What's your con mod?
It is +2.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome, baby. Anything for you, buddy?
Hey, it's just gonna
Anything
survive
for
here.
Listen, I gotta do something.
What would you like to do? What would you like to do, Avi?
Just perish. Just kill me now. I'm going to fly up out of the water, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash to fly up, just go the full 80 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna put everybody, just to keep track of where everyone is, I'm going to put everybody on the map, just kind of beside it, so we can mark all your heights.
I'm gonna trust that my friends can do something about the falling T-Rex, because I'm a sweet bird girl, so sweet. I can't do shit. I'm gonna use my action to cast Blur on myself.
Red Sun's playing.
What?
Red Sun's playing. It's just funny.
Oh, sorry. I was like, what is
I just
funny
realized
about
the song that's
casting
playing. I was like,
Blur?
it's Red Sun.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Blur on myself.
Okay.
I don't do this enough, and I really should more. Yeah, that's my action, bonus action movement. That's gonna be Aviana.
Wrench, all the others seem to be heading upwards. You managed to fight against the suffocating effects of the
Nice.
red moon as it is. What would you like to do, Wrench?
Shit, I don't know. I got nothing. I yell at everybody. So we killing it. What are we doing?
We're leaving. Miriam.
All right, that was great information, guys. We what?
We're getting Miriam and we're leaving.
Yeah!
Okay, great. I fly towards Miriam.
Okay, so you're also using all your movement to go up?
Yeah.
You have 60 feet of movement, so if you were to dash, you could get 120 feet. So you would be at 135.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Just take off above everybody else.
Ooh, and how far away is he?
He is 800 feet up.
800 feet.
800? Alright, I'm not wasting my Dragon Surge on that. Yeah, fuck that.
It's alright, I'll get another 15!
Yeah, another 15 feet. 1, 2, 3.
It's fine. If he jumps off, he can drop 300. It'll be great.
It'll be great.
Alright,
Yeah,
Nest, you don't need to make
movement.
checks. As you're all coming up, the three of you that are closest, you see the ship turns. So... Wrench?
Come on.
Why is it not targeting people?
Just wrench. You know what?
Just wrench.
He was blaming me earlier. Just wrench. You know?
It was your fault.
Say. I don't know, babe. I don't.
Wrench. Avi.
Fuck.
And Flux.
I knew it was coming.
You
Thanks
guys
for
are...
being 10 feet ahead, Flux.
Blasts are coming at the three of you.
Let's go.
Fire towards you. Avi, you're hit.
Of course I am.
As the others dodge and weave, Avi, you are struck. You take 3d10 fire damage.
Oh.
You take 15 points of damage. Jakku continues to walk. Miriam, from where you are, you see that the cabin at the end of the ship appears to be one almost large throne room. You see them walk up towards and sit upon a large golden brass throne. They sit back. They raise their hand and begin moving it, making motions towards two large fire pots that are nearby, as if using them to initiate some kind of control over the ship. It is your turn, Miriam. Aaron?
I'm going to fly off the side. Sorry, I was just thinking. I'm going to try something. I don't think anything's going to happen, but my curiosity means I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use my 60 feet of flight to get as close as I can to the central orb while also getting off the side of the ship.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast I'm going to allow myself to fall, but before I do, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the glowing orb at the ship.
Alright, as you do. As you rush forward, I'd say roll me a spellcasting ability check.
Off my slot. I have to cast it at 5th level. Fuck.
As you try to cast it, no effect seems to come of it.
And then I will allow myself to fall.
You will fall 300 feet immediately.
Yes.
You guys, as you see it coming off the other side, seemingly falling, not in terrible distress, but off the side, Miriam plummeting down towards the ground.
We can't catch a T-Rex.
Oh, squish us.
Tag is just like trying to get below the T-Rex, just like arms up, like.
Oh my God.
You see the T-Rex looks down towards you, and you see it shake its head like.
Hold on, I got you. Hold
yes,
on.
Yes, yes, I got you.
Master Tag, no.
Master Tag, yes.
Sweet Christ.
The Embering Elemental. You all see it fly back onto the ship. It lands. You see its wings furl back into its side as it seems to simply perch on the front of the ship. Which you then see the ship as a whole begins to turn, as if pointed away from you, and it begins to slowly elevate. Fenris, you immediately fall to 0 hit points. As you run out of breath as your lungs burn, as a full minute is cut off of the time you could hold your breath.
Oh no.
Lexi,
Oh.
you see Fenris fall to the side.
Night night.
Luckily, as this happens, as the ship begins to move away, you see the moon changes back. As the others begin to retreat, the effects of it end, the embering stops. However, Fenris, that will have affected you. As it happened at the start of your turn, I'd like you to also make a death save.
Okay. What's the worst that can happen? I get a 1?
Lot.
You got a 1.
You fail
Oh,
one.
close enough.
That's not great.
Cool. Shit.
This is today.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, good job, Avi.
Way to go, Avi.
By the way, I should probably, just
I
for the
will
sake of visuals, remind you all that the T-Rex is not only falling, but it is still on fire.
Ah.
That's fucking hilarious.
It is going to fall. It is going to fall another 300 feet, putting it. I'm gonna actually wrap it back up and around because it's getting relatively close to you guys. I'm gonna make its height in
How
accordance.
high it is instead of how low it is.
Yep. And with that, Tag, it would be your turn.
Here, hold on. No. Oh no. Okay. With everyone thinking of like retreating and everything, can I turn back towards the people who are still on the ground?
Sure, if you want to.
Head back towards them.
Alright, you head back towards him. You would see that Fenris is keeled over on the ground. Lexi, you are able to breathe now, but still getting over the sensation of your lungs being ashy.
Okay, but Fenris though.
Does she need healing?
I mean, it looks like she's just passed out over there. We need to get her.
Was I able to get to her with my fly speed?
Yeah, you fly on, so you could.
Cool. Can I give her some lay on hands?
You can.
Cool. I'll give her 5 points.
Alrighty. Fenris, you regain 5 hit points. You wake up vexed about what happened to you to begin with.
You're all right?
No.
No. Oh.
No.
No, I am not.
Oh, well.
We need to leave.
I agree. There's a giant bird that just dropped a T-Rex out of the sky, and I feel like we're a little out of our league. Let's start getting ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
What do I do?
From your perspective,
Well, like-
Lexi, you would see the
Yeah.
light from the ship above, which previously was lighting everything up like it was daylight, appears to be condensing down. The sphere of light it's casting now seems to have gone down to about 500 feet as the ship seems to be turning in the air and leaving. You would notice this explicitly because obviously it would seem more like nighttime where you are as of that happening as the light recedes.
So, like, are we running away? Is that the plan? Is that what we're doing?
I believe so.
Okay.
This is.
Then I don't know what to do with my turn. I'm just waiting until we can all leave, I guess.
He will change targets from Miriam to T-Rex. He will bonus action dash, because I can do that while I have my Flames of Passion on. I will bonus action dash. I will get underneath T-Rex. Up and underneath, and I will go for a dispel magic on the T-Rex.
Alrighty.
So that we could actually catch the thing.
Polymorph is at what level, Aaron?
What level spell?
Go ahead and, yep, so you would automatically work for you. As you go up to it, you cast Polymorph. As you do, its form
King of Lions.
reverts to the King of Lions. Cool, now they get to eat all that damage themselves.
Oh right, they're still on fire. Forgot about that.
Yeah, no.
Their T-Rex hit points are going to absorb the fall. Woo!
I'm not gonna lie.
I couldn't
had
get rid of
no
the fire,
idea.
could I? No, the
I
fire's
had no
magical.
idea the King of Lions was the dinosaur. I just thought we just randomly got it.
Did you know you missed that?
The
Yeah,
reveal. Alejandro's
Oh my
like,
God.
oh, escándalo.
Oh.
But as they were 200 feet away from us, right? They were like
They're
they were
currently 200
above the
feet
ground?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have dispelled, and then I would have gotten to them with my flight, and then my dash to get underneath them and go to catch them, if possible.
Okay, as you're going to catch them, I'd say they're not close enough to be featherfalled, unless you wait for them to get that far down.
I don't know if Flux has said it anything.
He would have been priming his featherfall drones, like, almost there, almost there.
Drones.
He's flying towards
Wow.
it, hand out, just small drones are like detaching from his body, preparing to go towards them.
Well, I can't get up to 200 anyway, so
Okay.
I will be ready to catch. I'm ready to catch coming at 300 miles per hour. Like,
As they-
I'm
What
ready
a
to catch
day
a
for
falling
the King of
person, But if it's
Lions.
a feather falling person, I'm fine too.
Alright, as they get close enough, Flux, as they're getting close enough that they're about to collide with Nemric, you see Nemric going up to them, cast magic up, and the Tyrannosaurus form reverts back down into being the King of Lions, who has an equally unprepared look on their face as they look towards the ground. And you see this almost look of bravery as if they're preparing to face the ground as an enemy. Not in a stupid way, but just in a look your enemy in the eye kind of way. As you get close enough, small little drones detach from you, go over, begin grabbing onto their clothes, the blanket that they're wearing around them, onto their armor, starts pulling them down, but with the force of how fast they're falling, it doesn't manage to. A couple of them break off from the force, but it slows them down enough that Nemric manages to grab onto them and catch them. That didn't work.
We need to leave now.
Yep.
I will start flying away, even though, you know, she's on fire, or they're on fire, but, you know.
If you want to land, you can. It looks like Jakku's leaving.
I'll try to get us near the water.
I nod. With them no longer falling, all we have to do is deal with... As you say this, they look over and you just say, what about them? And they regard, plummeting to the earth, Miriam also falling.
Oh, he can fly. I gave him fly, he can fly.
For the purposes of delineation, Miriam, are you going to do anything to prevent your plummet?
So at that distance, Miriam wouldn't immediately register, and he would dimension door under where the T-Rex was going to be. And he'd have a hand out ready to grab where they were and be like, oh, you got them, hi.
You just see Miriam pop in beside you, be like, oh god, falls.
So, you know how the King of Lions just said, what about that? And then it's just like, we point over, it disappears.
There's a flashing white light in the distance, and
What?
then about 10 feet under you guys, there's another flash, and a little burst of smoke as Miriam appears, slowly slowing himself down with his fly.
Alright.
I wasn't gonna let them die because of me.
As the ship continues to go up, you see it begin to enter into, you see almost like ash begin to build up, clouds begin to build up above, in the sky up above you, as the ship moves up into them. High enough up that as the light completely recedes and disappears, it becomes nigh impossible to see the ship in the air above you. And you just hear echoing, as if through speakers almost, but magically enhanced. You hear their voice, one final time, reverberating across the area. I had only meant to introduce myself. Continue to slay my compatriots, and I will happily entertain you again. Stay alive until then. Make this fun for me. As the ship ascends and almost nonchalantly disappears into the darkness of the sky.
Oh.
As you all land.
I pat the King of Flames out. The King of Flames, the King of Lions.
King of
Wow,
Flames.
curling them
Oh
up.
no,
I
King of
thought that
Flames.
was-
For now.
I pat the King of Flames out, returning them to being the King of Lions.
Exactly.
Pat them down.
Keep that
As I'm
thing away
landing.
from me.
As I'm
Okay.
landing, I'm looking for water and just making sure it's like, if that show is
That.
Like, I'll even, like, as I can clearly see it's ground, and I'll just, like, gently with my foot, just tap the ground, make sure it's not even wet.
Yep, you do.
Aw.
You guys would see that most of the water from the moat outside has, at this point, rushed in towards the blown open crater and cavity that was the stairs down. You can tell that the amount of water, as it seems to have stopped rushing, and the area is now just a damp, muddy mess. You can see it appears to be pooling, now at the about 10 feet below the top of the stairwell, giving you the impression that the lower areas of the Bastille have completely flooded and are now at capacity.
So, that was a phoenix.
A what?
I've never seen a black one before.
Same.
I'll land next to Miriam.
Oh, I've never seen one before, but I've never seen, especially like books.
The black flames are definitely
Indeed.
an oddity. Something like that is... I don't even know how you all are still alive after that. And even just the presence of that creature, I'm sure, took a lot out of all of you.
I'm perfectly fine.
I'm
There's-
wet.
What can you tell us about it, Nemric?
Roll me a history check, Nemric. You know you've heard of something regarding it a long time ago. You know that it would have been... Some event had happened that was a big enough deal that it's been mentioned. But whatever it is, it was a long time ago, and you can't quite call up the words when you try to recall what it was.
Can you remind me what I got last time?
You know what it
What was
is.
the-
You know that Phoenix is Lady Fiona and the upper echelon of the plane of Phlegethos. They would hold elder fire elementals in high regards because they are beings that are on par and equal to the flames of Phlegethos. They would be symbols of power. There would be some devils that would probably use them as emblems. You would know that Lady Fiona would have some jewelry, some ornaments, some decorations that would include phoenixes in their design. You know that they're powerful. They're considered godlike among elementals. They're not gods, but they are considered as high up in the food chain as you can go.
As an elder elemental, I believe all of you would have remembered, Tagachi and Wrench excluded, the area that they were threatening to throw Miriam into, back in Phlegethos. That creature is on par, if not greater, than the flames of Phlegethos. That is
Comforting.
something that Lady Fiona would very much love to see. I've seen her wear jewelry and other such things that carry the visage of that creature.
Such a creature is working with a table member?
There was a
No.
story far off of a black phoenix. I'm trying... it reminds me of something on the tip of my tongue.
Perhaps if you give it some time, it will come to you. Once we're not so rattled from the day's events.
We need to find somewhere to rest.
You hear
Think that there's any more coaches nearby? He just looks around.
As you look around, Nemric, you see what appears to be... Did you say coaches?
Yes.
Hilariously enough, as you turn, you see what appears to be a carriage moving through the mists of Honokuni, moving towards you, pulled by 2 oxen, slowly exiting the mist, seemingly heading towards where the Bastille would be, and
I
stopping.
would like to turn into my clothing of these men. Oh no, man! of the Zukai.
God.
You hear the unlatching of a lock coming from it as it stops. The opening of a door. The sound of metal footfalls upon wood as a figure steps out, and a figure that all of you would recognize, except for Wrench, who you're seeing them for the first time. You see a swordsman wearing silver clothing, breastplate, metal gauntlets, metal greaves, carrying a very long red blade at their side that is sheathed, a mantle that resembles dragon wings stepping out. They look to be half-elven. You see this individual, quietly,
Oh, it's that boy.
somber look on their
no.
face, stepping out.
I'll drop the Zukai King, guys. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Without
Look at the King of Lions.
What the fuck? He's here for you, Wrench.
Huh? For
they,
me.
they slowly walk over towards you, silently, somber look on their face, as they get close. Your name is Wrench, correct?
Yeah.
You're
That's me.
expected to attend dinner at the Yorika Castle.
Yeah, I was dealing with some stuff. I don't know if you noticed there was a big bird and drowning, and I'm not really in the mood for more water.
My Lord Saigo has invited you to have dinner. You will be expected.
Okay, when?
At your own leisure. But do not keep our young lord waiting.
Where is this? I don't.
Your friends have been. They can show you the way.
Are you using that?
Bring you.
Excuse
Points
me?
to the carriage. What's points to the carriage? Are you using that? Because we could get him there very quick.
His gaze fixes onto you and holds onto you for a moment. His eyes narrow slightly. There's a quiet. And he turns. He keeps walking. The rest of you are invited to come again as well. My lord had planned to entertain a banquet, and since it seems all of you have gathered, and the final one of you needs to meet the young lord, we're going to push it forward. When you all arrive, there will be festivities. In the meantime, try not to get yourselves killed. Well, at least try not to get him killed.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I didn't catch your name, by the way.
I am Hirohito no Minamoto. But don't mind me. I am merely my lord's blade.
I look towards Nemric. You have that written down, right? Because I'm not gonna...
Yes, I have it. I have it in my book. Yeah.
All right.
As he is about to get back into the carriage, he puts one foot up onto the steps that lead back up onto it. He looks out to the Bastille. Already dealt with Ravissimo, haven't you?
We have.
What did you find?
Stuff.
A broken and disrepair old woman.
Yeah, she was ugly.
Then pay the grave behind you no mind. It can be fixed. He steps back up into the carriage. The door closes. You hear the locking sound of a mechanism against wood. It turns. For a brief moment, you see the ethereal form of one of the crimson butterflies at the front of the carriage driving the oxen, but it seems to fade away after a moment, becoming invisible. As it turns and it disappears back into the mists.
That was a no on the carriage, alright.
He seemed friendly.
Wrench, I'm not one for respecting nobility. I couldn't care less, usually. But your tongue could get my friends killed. So I'd warn you to mind it when we go to the castle.
I was just responding to be the guy.
Who knows, the young lord might find that quite entertaining in itself.
It's true.
That man has quite the ominous way about him.
Not like he's gonna kill me right away. And I don't think he'd do it right there and then, especially without a red moon or whatever the hell.
He's not part of the table.
It wouldn't... We've been warned against him in particular.
Yes, we've been told that if we ever tried to raise arms against the young lord, that he would be the one that we'd have to deal with, and the young lord seems very confident that nobody could stand against him. And if I'm going to be honest with you, just from the way he carries himself, the way he walks and breathes, I believe that.
He's like a silent storm.
If he's there to defend that person, then I'm sure that he is an equal, if not greater, than any of the table members.
So please heed our warning, Wrench. We say it out of concern and care for you.
It's true.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna attack the whatever the hell.
We should
Sounds
be
good.
fine.
You seem smart enough to have your wherewithal about you. I think that you understand.
If there is going to be a banquet, I'm guessing we're going to meet the other of the hunted there, your friend.
If he comes.
Whenever I hear
And he's-
banquet, I expect more than just us as going to be guests.
Aren't the other table members supposed to go as well?
Yeah, everybody's supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Everyone gets a look at who they're supposed to kill.
Sweet.
It'll at least teach us who the last 2 table members are.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's a
means
good way
we're
to gather information.
The
so
last
we're going
two?
to meet her then.
Because we have Sagittarius, Tribulation, Ravissement, Jakku, and then we have 2 that we're not exactly sure who they are.
Right.
What exactly happened when you were up on the ship briefly?
They exclaimed that they actually didn't wish to fight. And since it was just them, I was going to cause some pandemonium.
Did you
But
attack
then-
You didn't
Soon
make any
as-
acts of aggression against them, did you? I didn't see you do any.
No.
But whenever I turned against the phoenix that was with them, the moon changed.
They did call it their better half.
Better half.
Do you think it's... I don't mean to be literal, I know I sometimes seem to be, but you don't think it's literally a part of them, do you? Like a manifestation or something like that?
I
The
couldn't tell you.
moon. The moon changed, did it not?
The big thing is that it's not like I had any lack of killing intent for them.
That's true.
Perhaps this phoenix is the true table member.
Uh-oh.
Man, if that's the case, how are we gonna fit in that room?
I feel like their surrogate might attend for them.
What is the City of Brass?
It is... I haven't been, but I've read a bit about it. It's a city of metalworking and trade in the Plane of Fire.
That's
Why do you
where
ask?
Agravain is from, no?
Yeah.
Because that person
they-
called themselves the Rekindler, and they said that they were the rightful Grand Sultan of it.
Oh.
That's quite the title.
Interesting.
Nemric roll history.
Oh, yay, thank you.
Yes, I was
I like
hoping to
asking
trigger
questions
something.
about things.
Our interplanar boy.
Nice.
You have a moment, Nemric. Upon hearing the Rekindler, and having it connected to the City of Brass, and thinking on the name Jakku Il-Norkar, you piece together what it was you were failing to remember earlier. To give you very specific information, you recall that several hundred years ago, by the calendar of the material plane, around the year roughly 380 AD, maybe 400 AD, in Somnus Domina, there was a war that happened. There was a Afridi that served in the City of Brass, who was the head of the Illuminated, which is a force of 5,000 soldiers who serve within the City of Brass. There was the Grand Sultan, which has been mentioned previously. The Grand Sultan effectively is the head of the City of Brass. They're a deific figure, usually, well, they always are in Afridi, generally immortal. They are kind of considered equivalent in status, if not more, to an archdevil or a demon lord, but within the elemental plane of fire. The one at the time, and who continues to this day, goes by the name of Grand Sultan Hisna-Sirar Kalam of the City of Brass. The Jakku Il-Norkar served them, as I mentioned, as the head of the Illuminated, effectively their elite soldiers. She is an Afridi, so she is a fire genie. The story that you remember is that there was a period of history in the elemental plane called the Time of Bloodfire, where there was a revolt from within, where an individual named the Rekindler started waging a war against the Grand Sultan, claiming that the City of Brass needed to be overturned and taken over. And this war lasted almost 100 years. By the end of it, it was known that the Rekindler had used their substantial forces to find, capture, and contain an Elder Fire Elemental, a Phoenix. And though they severely weakened it by doing so, they tried to assert themselves as being above the Grand Sultan by performing a ritual that bound the essence of that elemental to their soul, and made it a part of them, and something they could draw upon and conjure up at will. And even if it was killed, it would, as long as they remained, its fire would reignite and it would appear again later. But again, doing so diminished its power from what it would have been if it had been allowed to be free. Their plan within the City of Brass had been to wage a war, claim that there was an attack, and then because they were one of the most direct guards of the Grand Sultan, their plan had been to kill their fellow guards, murder the Grand Sultan, and then claim later that the Rekindler had invaded the Charcoal Palace, the head of the City of Brass, that they had invaded, killed the Grand Sultan, and that Jakku had then killed the Rekindler. But unfortunately, they didn't manage to be a match for the Grand Sultan and were defeated. They then spent several years fleeing. Them and the remaining rebels that were with them became outcasts and were hunted down, and they tried to flee to the material plane. But they were caught, as they'd constructed a gate to it, and Jakku tried to escape through a planar portal. But it was disrupted when they did so, and Jakku was never seen again. Jakku got caught in it, as the portal became unstable as they moved through it, and it was assumed that they had died.
Rekindled? That's what they said.
Yeah. Did you say Agravane is from the City of Brass?
Yes.
Must be a different Agravane.
What? Oh.
Do you know an Agdamant?
I do. Anyways,
Well, what are they like?
It's unimportant, though.
Okay, I'm gonna ask later though.
They're here. The Rekindler, you said. Jakku.
That's what they call themselves.
That is not good. I remember what I was thinking about earlier. There was a conflict long before me. It was something that we studied in the plane of Phagathos. It was about the Grand Sultan only nearly being usurped after a 100-year war with someone called the Rekindler. They tried to usurp the place by binding a elder elemental to themselves, the Phoenix, and they were stopped, but they jumped through a portal trying to get to the material plane, but were disrupted. If that is what this is, that creature is bound to their soul, their very spirit.
Huh.
That is, for all intents and purposes, I'm guessing them, which is why things turned red.
So they
it
and the
would have
Elemental are the same table member.
Yes, it would have made the creature weaker, but they bound that to their entire being. This person thought that they had a chance against the leader of everything in the elemental plane of fire, and they were strong enough to do such a thing. That is...
Fascinating.
We jumped from a lich to nearly a god? What? Ugh.
Where you all come from is frightening.
This is relatively uncommon.
That's true as well.
You say they
I'm
fought
sure-
against this Grand Sultan, but they also failed, did they not?
Yes. The Grand Sultan ended up being too much for them, at least that's what the stories say. They were defeated. Their conflict brought to an end. Their war they started up for 100 years, ending in defeat.
We made a
Especially-
mistake. We let them decide how that was going to go. We gave them the first move.
I agree.
If we fight them again, then we should be clear to do it all at once. I don't know how we would fight a thing like that. I'm not used to wars or conflicts like this, but...
That thing, the Phoenix, it cannot be defeated. If we defeat it, it will come right back, as long as it is bound to the Rekindler.
So we have to kill Jakku.
If it's part of them, surely defeating it or hurting it must take some toll on Jakku.
Most likely.
Logan.
Also, from what we saw while we were up there, it seems that that thing resides within that core on the ship.
Would this be the type of thing that planar binding would work on?
Yeah, I mean, it would bind it in place if you could get it against them, and it would make it so that you probably couldn't command it into your service.
Right.
If it's
But at least
literally
keep
an
it from
extension
the
of the
fight.
will of something else, but you could probably keep it in place, yeah.
Damn.
We could attempt to separate the two. Seeing of the type of being they are, I could attempt to, it's an attempt of a magic that would bind them for a period of time, separating the two of them, even just for a little bit.
You'd need a lot of prep for something like that, though.
I know, but
It's worth a try.
it would give us the upper hand.
Isn't that something like what the lady tried to do to the Tenebros when we were fighting him initially?
Not quite, but similar. Similar.
It's worth noting, I don't know how much prep time you need. Though it seems to be bound to Jakku, it seems to live within that orb. So if you needed to keep it close to you while casting it, perhaps if we were to sneak you onto their ship, as long as you were within range of it, maybe they lay dormant inside of it.
What would happen if we smashed the orb?
I don't know.
Oh,
It might
It's a
Most
sphere. It's a
likely-
sphere of energy, so it's.
Most likely release it.
I don't know if it's something we can smash as much as it's something being kept in place. It does have that large brass ring that surrounds it. Perhaps that contains it.
Miriam, you have invisibility magic that I can still cast magic while dawning, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, well,
I think other people might, but my invisibility spell, if you cast magic or attack someone, it'll take you right out of it.
right.
oh.
Would that be at the very end? Would they be able to prepare the spell while invisible?
It's generally once they've cast it, so...
This is a risk. But an idea has just occurred to me.
Okay.
We know a situation in which Jakku will be away from their ship. The banquet. Now, it might be a bit rude to do it during the festivities, so perhaps waiting until they end. I mean, I can't imagine the young lord bringing us all together without the concept that conflict would happen nearly immediately afterwards.
Last time I was there, conflict was banned entirely.
Mm-hmm.
We
Of
can't
course.
fight during. the
During.
banquet.
And then,
But
also,
afterwards-
once I left, I was told that I would be given leave to leave the forest, and that nobody would attack me.
Safe passage.
Then
So you guys plan is to jump him after the banquet?
possibly, or at least follow them. If
Or-
they
We
can't.
could sneak onto the ship.
I was
Yes.
going to say.
Oh.
We could sneak onto the ship. Someone can keep them distracted, perhaps?
I'm
In any-
great with distractions.
Just a little soggy, bud. 1 second. I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation on Wrench. Just start drying out the fur.
Oh, that feels better.
In
We
any
have,
case, it is worth noting that Jakku did say they weren't interested in actually fighting us yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
wanted
said
us
they
to take
wanted
out
us
the
to
other
take
two
care of
women.
the rest.
Still, we don't have to follow their rules.
No, of course not.
Why let anyone else tell you what to do?
Would the other ones be easier, though?
Who fucking
doubt that.
knows?
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
A big thing with Jakku is that if we can gain operation of their ship, that would give us a massive advantage in terms of movability around the world.
Yes.
Indeed, if we were to go with the plan to sneak onto their ship, I would like to be in that party. I would love to use my expertise to examine its working.
I'm, perhaps not the best when it comes to sneaking. So, if...
Me and Aviana are really good at sneaking.
Wouldn't you have to be on board to try to do the spell you're talking about doing?
Yes, which is why I'm just putting that forth in case anyone has any remedies towards that, or...
I might. If you and Taguchi can distract them, and while Fenris, your skills are incredible in other places, if sneaking's a problem, if you're willing to expend the magic, Miriam, you could change her into something smaller, and I could carry her aboard.
Yeah, I mean, that's doable. Now, getting them out without, unless you had a way to notify me.
She'll turn to Flux. Flux knows dispel magic.
No, we're more talking about getting you out quietly, the way we got you in quietly. We wouldn't be able to tell Miriam to cast it again.
And then you'd also have the problem of Flux. If he goes with you, how is he gonna get through? No offense, buddy. All sneaky like.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a bad lad boy.
One potential way is I could load invisibility into the spell storing item, and it would allow us to reapply it as many times as needed.
There won't be any weird third group, so if we have, for example, Taguchi, the King of Lions, Wrench, and I would put forth myself so that I could potentially get the three of them to fly back over toward you if something happens, then the rest of you could be on the stealth mission and make sure that Fenris is alright throughout the entire thing, meaning that Miriam or Flux could make sure that they are either tiny or invisible or however it is you need to work this out.
I mean, if you don't have a problem with killing small animals, I can turn someone into one and then you just gotta stab them.
Oh.
I don't have a problem with that.
I give you
As long as
permission.
it's not me.
That
Same.
You
would
will hurt
work in
them,
a
almost
strange way.
certainly, but that would solve the problem of having to tell me about it.
I have a
I can
concern.
handle it.
Okay.
Is it about being stabbed?
No, I'm willing to endure whatever pain I have to, and I believe that you are all the same. But this would all take place whenever we take Wrench to the castle, right?
Most
Yes.
likely.
Yes.
We assume that
Thank
the
you.
hunted will likely be required in attendance.
I don't want to face Jakku again if I could help it, until I retrieve my sword. If there's no time, then that is
Do
what
we
it
have any
is.
leads on exactly where to find it?
The child that I had protected whenever I discarded it when Jakku defeated me the first time. I threw it to them. Oh, I saw them collect it, rather. I believe they would know where it is.
That's out east, then. They said at our leisure, as long as we're not too slow about it, if we don't drag our feet. I can't imagine the young lord won't be too cross with us.
Will it seem suspicious if not all of us are in attendance?
Yes.
I mean, probably, yeah.
This will
Oh, absolutely.
This will
Yeah, we
perhaps
should-
be at the end of the banquet.
Also
Hopefully we can-
suboptimal if we plan to face Jakku. I had fought them briefly without the aid of that thing. They're still very powerful. They didn't use that to defeat me. They fought me on their... I mean, they bombarded me with their ship and weakened me. But they fought me on their own afterwards, and I wasn't able to keep up with them. I believe that kid's name
Don't
was
have to
Ojikai.
love me.
Ojikai. Alright.
So,
Do you have any business back in Hoshokin? I'm gonna fucking get the map one sec. Hold on.
I was literally just about to be like, Logan, can you share the map with me?
Yeah, I can do that.
We have interests out that way, but we have no direct business, no objectives yet.
We had also said upon coming in here, and I know that other things have happened, but we had said that we wanted to try to look at this place.
Yes. I
But again,
was
other
wanted
things
to
have
try to go
happened.
there.
That mountain, which seems to be related to Mistrender, and the dragon that I believe is there. That's one thing. I don't have any business in Bochi, but if my weapon is anywhere, it'd be in Hoshokin. That's where I lost it.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be chasing us around the mountains, so as long as we're quick in Hoshokin, we could make a possible pit stop up there and then back. Depends on how long we think those mountains are going to take us, because the young lord is not the most patient, from what I've heard.
Hirohito should have gave us a carriage whenever we asked.
You asked to take his.
He just shrugs.
I'd say we could get there. We could probably deal with what we're talking about dealing with, based off of where I remember it being. The entire round trip might take us the better part of a week.
If we needed anything, I know that Lexi, King, and Renchi would know, but we should now be in the good graces of those who are down in the other town we had just came from. If we needed any sort of anything that we could use, but I do think that heading straight to wherever you think your blade would be most likely the best option.
You have allies in Bochi, right? You had mentioned that you had come to the Bastille to find Lexi, but also to prove something to them?
They might, at that point, give us any sort of transportation we might need.
Oh,
It's true.
First things first. We need to decide where we're going first. Our plans may change depending on what happens. I leave it up to you. You've all made more connections here than I have.
I suppose if we went to look for your weapon first, that would put us in a stronger position for whatever we do after that. Seems a good place to start.
There's talk of revolution in Bochi, and so I think if we come back with the news that Ravissimo is away, they may spur themselves into action quicker than we might be ready for. So Hoshokin might be a better option. It also would give them the ability to communicate a bit better, since they can't really speak to their allies in Hoshokin.
True. Hoshokin seems like the best option.
Bochi is also where the Zugaiken are stationed. That's where they're based, I mean. So, if we avoid that, that wouldn't be terrible.
Also, once you get your blade back, if we do think that there's enough time to make our way to the mountain, at that point we won't really need misrender much. You're the only one that we've had be able to use it. So we can see what that dragon wants with us at that point.
If any of you decide that you'd like to use this instead of me, please feel free to speak up.
I think there's few that are truly capable.
No upper body strength except for bowstrings. It's all about finger strength, to be honest.
it's true.
It's not true.
In that case, if that's what we're going to do, shall we, instead of following the road back, shall we try to cut our way directly to Hoshokin?
We might as well.
It's not like tribulation's gonna pop up here.
Don't say that.
I was thinking that we might stop in Bochi on the way back to the young lord's place. If we inform them of our meeting with the rest of the table members, it might give them an option to begin their incursion while all eyes are turned elsewhere.
It would be rather interesting.
It would make for an excellent distraction.
Okay.
Should we spend any sort of time looking around and seeing if those motions to the rubble Zugaiken members had any sort of transportation here, or should we just go?
What Zugaiken members?
Let's just make our way then.
All right. Then we're going to go and find my sword.
Let's go.
As you guys prepare to leave and you head back, you would most reasonably, just to draw a path for you guys to take. Let's see if I can do this. Most likely, map-wise, don't do that. Most likely, that would effectively be the quickest way to go, which that would take you about a full day. A little bit over a full day. If you move at a fast pace, that would take you a day and an afternoon to get there. Let's determine that you're going to move this far in a day, if that's acceptable. Is that good?
Let's go.
Sure, yeah.
We'll put you there.
Yeah.
Oh, Grubsnock, you work now.
I'm going to
Hey
long.
guys, a day passed.
I'm going to long rest the party.
All right.
Hey guys, my bow said
Whatever.
a day passed. What's
Everyone eats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hollow
nom, 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 nom,
rations, baby.
And then,
Yep. Saves,
Uh-oh.
boys.
Here we go.
oh no, you don't.
Me.
You don't even understand.
Oh,
no.
Fenris, you cannot suffer from madness for reasons. So Fenris, due to some events that happened, you're going to automatically contract a point of maddening disfiliation.
Okay, cool.
Fuck.
All right.
What that mean?
Okay. It means that
Nothing.
Logan, I don't know what the other things are, but I know one of them is Logan can choose to make me roll disadvantage on something.
Yeah, that's basically if you have a madness imposed on Honokuni and you as a player try to semantic your way around it or not play into it, I'll let you. But, heckin', you will possibly incur negative effects from trying to fight against it, and those effects are points of maddening disfiliation. And what happens is I can spend those against you at any time to make a roll that you do have disadvantage. Let's see.
Damn.
Everybody who does not have madness, you're all going to roll.
Beside Tagachi.
Who's within 10 feet of me?
I assume that you would all huddle, so everybody please put a 4 into your modifier window. But then,
Tagachi is princess carrying me.
Miriam, Lexi, and Aviana.
Yeah.
I am going to throw an effect on you guys. You're gonna roll 1d10 and subtract it from the save.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah!
Woo, not me.
Alright, y'all ready? Everyone has a
Never.
4s plugged in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I has
Do I-
4. Oh god.
Okay.
Oh my god,
on.
that's 20!
I'm amazing.
Let's go 25.
Woo, 25 squad.
Logan, I'd like to use one of my lucky points to reroll.
Go ahead.
please. Okay, yeah. That's better. Better. Not by much, but I'll take it.
That's good.
But remember, it's +4 as well, so it's like
Yeah.
a 15.
It's a
Yeah.
15 right there.
But then
Minus
negative
3.
whatever you roll.
-3. Yeah.
Just, it would be the
Okay.
difference between 7 and 11 is, yeah, so +4, so you would go up to 12. Cool. I'm just gonna... Hey, Flux,
Yeah.
why don't you roll 1d100 into the chat for me?
Sure thing, man.
Oh boy. Not this again.
I'm sorry, stay into the tower.
It doesn't really matter, you don't know the results.
We all just
Okay.
wake up
Yeah,
with
so
tinfoil
just do
hats
whatever.
around us.
Could you roll me 1d6?
Certainly.
Is this the return of Mad Flux?
Nemric's like, yes.
Do we have to fix him?
It's a Flux.
He's
Yeah.
my friend.
As you rest on that night, as you try to go to sleep, you find yourself haunted by odd thoughts, by thoughts that seem to be within Honokuni of what seem to be memories of a life within Hoshoki, or within Bochi. You find yourself looking at the body of what appears to be a Firbolg, by all intents and purposes. When you look at your own hands and see your own body and these thoughts you have that invade your mind like dreams, where dreams should be, even though you don't sleep. You become aware of yourself being somebody else, and as you have them, it becomes slowly more and more real. You see as you dream the Firbolg that you had encountered before, the one that ran the hot springs, and you find yourself regarding them with a feeling of familial warmth. And when you eventually come out of this dream, that becomes more and more realistic as it goes, you find yourself uncomfortable within your own body, and you feel like a nagging question is in the back of your mind, not pervasive, not affecting you in such a way that it's a detriment to you, but you find it odd that now you're within this metallic and wooden body. As you feel like two sets of memories are competing in your head, and both of them are uncomfortable in the shell that you've been given. I'm going to throw something onto your sheet, Flex. Under your identity
Flux has just
tab.
become self-aware.
I just threw a thing onto your flaws, and also, your charisma score is going to go down by 3.
Oh my god, what?
What is it now?
Shit.
4?
Oh,
Amazing. I love that.
Bro, if you die again and you roll a 6.
You
dear
find that
God.
as your mind is now filled with two different sets of memories, both competing for being correct, that your ability to socialize is stunted, because every time you want to have a reaction to something or contribute to something, you have two different sets of instincts that are both acting.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm going to be real with you. If you'd rolled a 5 or a 6 on that d6, I guess it would have had to be, 5 or 6. You would have just been, not dead, but you would have been just a shell. You would have had 0 charisma, and Flux would have been a paperweight.
Oh, I thought you die when you hit 0.
Yeah.
Depends on the thing. No, you don't die.
Oh, okay.
You just become unresponsive. You can't process, like, communication.
Speak or communicate.
God damn.
God, it would have been catatonic.
You only die if your charisma, or if your constitution goes to 0. Although most of them are like being dead.
And some monsters have like an effect, like if your strength is 0, it kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if your strength is 0, the main issue there is that you can't move.
Yeah, your heart fucking
Yeah.
stops.
You can't lift your body. You just don't have the strength to move yourself. You might as well be dead.
Oof.
With that happening, Flux, I would think by this point, having encountered these things multiple times, you would yourself be somewhat aware of what's going on. You would know that something's happening to you. You're used to the effects of Honokuni, but it doesn't stop the effect. Despite this, you seem to still have the memories of whatever it is, whomever it is, that's in your head, and it feels very real. To the point that you know you're Flux. But at the same time, you doubt that this is fake. It feels like you're regaining memories from a past life.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's a level of self-awareness, but it doesn't make it feel any less real.
Yep. Perhaps more useful to you as this happens, and you as Flux begin to think about it. You start to become aware that, along with this supernatural madness, familiarity is coming with it. Familiarity with Honokuni, including, possibly, the ability to recall information that you should not have, as if you were a resident.
That's
interesting.
And with
Flux
that,
is like, I guess I
right?
shouldn't
and
have.
with that change, and you guys heading off and being within a stone's throw of Hoshokin, that's where we're gonna stop for today.
Oh,
Toast you all
Later.
I know where you live.